I'm here because I'm very concerned. I'm here because I follow the Constitution. I'm here because I've been involved in public policy. I've been involved in politics. I've been involved in running candidates for office. And what I see happening is a government that is not adhering to the basic principles of the Constitution, that doesn't believe that people ought to have a right to have property or the right to succeed or fail. Instead, it's a government that wants to provide everything to everybody and drop everybody to a low level, take all their money to be able to do that. And that's not the way I want to live.
This is an outward expression of the frustration of the taxpayers to what the political parties and the politicians and the ruling class are doing to us.
Well, what's happening in our country are some very dangerous trends. Number one, we have a president and a liberal congressional leadership that have really been ignoring and violating the Constitution of the United States.
If you look again at history across the world, where people have not paid attention to what their leadership does, they lose their freedoms. Folks who are in government, particularly those who are in government for long periods of time, become enamored with the power, with the ego, with the money that they can control, and they want more.
There are things that have slowly crept into our system which could be considered to be either unconstitutional or borderline constitutional. And when that happens, the system breaks down, because if you don't stick with the Constitution, then there's no foundation.
People seem to have gotten complacent. Taxpayers are complacent. They just pay the bills and they just talk to themselves and holler back to the TV. There's a movement in the country for people to shut the TV off and get up and take responsibility for themselves. We don't have to put up with this. This is not a communist country, and when we see socialism taking over, we're going to stop it.
A number of things are happening. Number one, our liberties are being eroded. Number two, disposable income in the American people is being decimated with high taxes. Number three, these policies that we're doing right now, even though they're rolled out under the auspices of change, have really never worked historically anywhere in the world where they've been tried. And, you know, we're about a year and a few months into this. They're not working here either. None of us are surprised by that. But if we're going to restore economic growth, prosperity, individual liberty to the United States, we're going to have to pretty rapidly change course.
When you give up too much liberty, then you don't have any left. And so I think the average guy begins to get that concept, that giving up too much of our individual freedom for something that somebody else is going to give us, not a good idea.
What we're trying to do is get a restoration toward the traditional historical values of the United States.
As a regular guy, all you have to do is speak up. Most people are quiet, and the politicians and the ruling party feels that you're just going to sit there and take it. And don't take it.
Our country was founded on the principle of citizen politicians, not professional politicians. And they've lost track of that. And consequently now the people who go to Washington, or for that matter the State House, tend to believe that they're the only ones that have the answers to the problems. We have answers.
The Tea Party is not a political party. It's a group of people. Many of them are Republicans, many of them are Democrats. I'm a vice president of the Ocean County Tea Party in southern Jersey. And a lot of our people are from all three political groups, the independents, the Republicans, and the Democrats. And what they want is their country back.
I think the average person looks a lot like the people that are here today. The average person might be someone who is retired, might be somebody who's in college, might be somebody who's a grade school student, but maybe is listening for the first time to the idea of why government was established to begin with.
If we aren't informed, our vote is meaningless. You don't vote for a party, you don't vote for a candidate even, you vote for principles. And if someone holds your principles, and those principles are in keeping with the Constitution, then you've got a good thing going.
I have to say, you know, I've been involved in 25 years now, or 30 I guess almost, in public policy and politics. And I've seen some hugely exciting things from, you know, having worked in the White House, seeing presidential elections, being engaged heavily in American foreign policy, being involved here in the state of New Jersey with one of our state's greater governors, Tom Kean. I have never seen anything that rivals the excitement the dynamism and the power that I think is stemming from this Tea Party movement. It's very difficult for me to predict here's where this movement's going to be a year from now or even 6 months from now, but it is clear to me that it is influencing the course of history in this country, and it is proving a truly a movement of historical consequence. And I think most Americans are starting to wake up to the reality that something really big is happening here.